The UFL Gambling Podcast Week 6 preview picks and DFS episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Naira Bets. Bet the Kentucky Derby by using the promo code SGPN25 for a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match bonus at Naira Bets. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN25 and start winning today. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Brian Bosworth, a.k.a. The Boz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother. Peace out. Boz out.
Yes, it is. Do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football. This is
Welcome to the UFL/XFL/USFL Gambling Podcast, where crossroads meet bullshit. Get on over there, youtube.com/@UFL Gambling Pod. Yes, we got week 6. We're at a new platform, so let us know if we're fucking up. It's always good to know. Yeah, I'm excited for a strong week 6 because the playoff race is heating up. You got players getting traded to teams. I mean, I hit you guys with some news the other day. You guys didn't even respond, which is just like the rest of the fans in the league. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Don D. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I want this pilot. It's a matter of national security.
4 fully loaded football games. 1 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. They didn't want to go up against the Derby with a doubleheader, and I understand it. I'd rather watch a horse I've never seen ever before in life. All right. I am joined by my co-host. He's all about horse racing. All right, the goddamn guys at the track. I feel like 3 days a week. All right. He is the host of the Bottom Line Boz podcast. I say that because he just recently published a great photo at Santa Anita track there. Give it up for Scumbagger Vance, a.k.a. the Bet Detective, CJ Sullivan. How are you, buddy?
Good. This is our own dollar try box right here. We got lined up for the mid-season UFL Week 6 Derby Week extravaganza. I'm excited as we pass the quarter pole, heading down the stretch, kind of 3 furlongs, and that's all the metaphors I'm going to use.
We got 4 good games. Go check out their Bottom Line Bombs episode. I saw you had the Wolf of Oaklawn on, legend there.
I had the Wolf of Oaklawn, and he passed the test of my other horse guy who was upset I didn't use him as an expert, but he listened to it, and he said, all right, he kind of knew his stuff. So,
we're setting odds on the Wolf of Oaklawn. What are the odds of him, perhaps having sexual relations in a racetrack bathroom like Charles Bukowski?
You love bringing up that Bukowski story.
It's one of the best. It is one of the best.
What was that? Tampa Downs? He did that?
I think it was Hollywood Racetrack, but I could be wrong. We are joined by third man in the booth. Look, he'll race your ass on a goddamn no-turn lawnmower because that's what he does. Give it up for the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast, Justin Mark, a.k.a. No-Turn Jmark. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. I don't know about the viewers out there watching, but I feel like my face looks huge in this new setup we got going on here, so apologize to everybody. Also, don't forget, we got Spring Football Guy t-shirts. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a QR code right there.
Yes.
Scan it and go buy one.
Turn off your phone, grab the take the picture of someone else's phone, the QR code, and get yourself a Spring Steve football t-shirt.
Wait a second. You figured that shit out, but you couldn't figure our layout out.
Yeah, got it.
What the fuck, man?
This is where crossroads meet bullshit.
Yeah, it is where crossroads meet bullshit. which is why I'm excited to talk about this next thing. We did have. I did send you guys a link on a little trade there. I don't think you guys replied to me. I'm just double checking to make sure.
I didn't quite trust. I take my UFL news from Jmark. I didn't know if yours was a parody account or something that was going to cause a virus on my computer or anything like that. It was a linebacker trade. I know you're excited. What? Fill us in. What was the trade?
I don't get. They bring the head cold, but.
Well, the Arlington Renegades have traded for linebacker Story. I like to say it's Stoney Jackson, but Story Jackson. They have traded him to the San Antonio Brahmas in exchange for a defensive player that Jmark said he's very familiar with, Ikina Enekchukwu.
Yeah,
did I nail it?
You got it. Perfect.
I don't think I ever said I was familiar with him, but
I was thinking about hot potatoing you. How to pronounce that, but I knew you just went and got some meds, so I didn't want to be that mean. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting because Story only played 10 snaps this season, which is intriguing. But I don't know. I mean,
he was a great player. He was a great player last year, though. All right.
So so he ends up on San Antonio. Does this strengthen the Brahmas?
I mean,
should we get a future on these Brahmas?
Yeah, it fills a roster spot, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not rushing to the window, as they say, to bet on any Brahmas anytime soon.
Jmark,
how come it's always Arlington involved in this?
It is some shady shit going on there.
Yeah, that's just interesting. I'm curious. Why them? Why are they always involved in these trades that make you go, that doesn't seem right?
It started with the JFK conspiracy right up the road, Arlington, Texas. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just jump into the Friday night game, and I made slides. Let's see if I can actually show them.
I think you can. Here we go. Look at that.
Hey, there we go. Friday night. Them Arlington Renegades and Bob Stoops heading into the Battle Dome to take on the Battle Birds. Now, Bob Stoops no stranger to that bullshit stadium because he for a little bit there they played the Big 12 championship. Max Duggan, I think you're gonna have to throw for a little more. I think he's gonna put the kibosh. This Bob Stoops character. He's seen these running quarterbacks his whole goddamn career. All right. He was with, you remember Stoops was at Iowa, Hayden Fry. He was with Spurrier. Then he went over to the Oklahoma Sooners, where everyone in the Big 12, Texas had James Brown, Michael Bishop at K-State. Colorado was still running the ball some with the QB spot. He knows what to do with a running quarterback. Shit. He knows all about this.
I will say it's Arlington defense, though, which was the best in the league point-wise, who got lit up last week. They are not great against the pass. So you're right. He might be throwing the ball more. They've allowed the third most passing yards, third most passing touchdowns, and the highest yards per reception to UFL this season, this Arlington secondary.
Yeah, I'm all over Arlington money line. All right, money line. It's a smash play. I think this is the best play you can do on the board.
Oh, all right.
The Battle Birds just gave up 400 to Michigan. If it wasn't for Mike dumbass Nolan, the Battle Birds would have lost. The Renegades are a tougher team, and they're going to prove it. They got their hearts ripped out last week. Love them in this spot with the Spring King. I also like the under 42.5. I know these things have been flying over lately, but Bet Detective, seems like you're on the other side of this one.
I mean, it's a tough game. It's a good game. We were just saying, me and Jmark were saying that all these totals are now getting inflated up there because of what's been happening. And I think it's justified, though, because I think the offenses are just getting better as the season goes along across the board. And it wasn't even a product beforehand to start off the season, but now they're looking pretty competent out there. Now, you like flexing at 400 yards. Now, Arlington just gave up 389 yards the week before to DC, who, of course, has a great offense. But in St. Louis had no problem. They had almost had 300 yards against the vaunted Michigan Panther defense. So
Well, 300 is different than 400.
I know, but they also had a field position as well. As you like to say, a lot of it's set up, but they put up a lot of points for crying out loud. They had 34 points last week on them, or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Friday night in the Dome. That's a short number. I think you're getting a pretty good discount. St. Louis knows they can't be messing around anymore. Arlington may be coming back down to earth a little bit, even though I do like them. They're still my favorite future King of Spring. I'm going to take the Battle Hawks in the Dome on a Friday night, minus with a very short number. But I do, and I'm going to play the over too. I don't really want to. I don't really want to parts of these unders anymore.
Just a great left and right. Jmark, you gonna go to this? Weren't you thinking about going to a Battlebird game once?
I was thinking about it, but I'm not going to be going to this one. But I am. I'm going to agree with both of you. With something. So Colby, I'm going to agree with you. Arlington is going to win this game on the money line. If I've learned anything from watching UFL, it's go the opposite way of the money. St. Louis is actually up to 3.5 point favorite now. I don't quite understand it because Arlington is a really good team. Their defensive front seven is very good, and the Battlehawks are without Juwan Bushell-Beatty. I said on our recap show that keep an eye on that. If he's not going to play, that could be big for them. He is out for now. We'll see if they change that tomorrow, of course. It is the UFL, but he's out. So I'm on Arlington, but I'm with CJ on the total here. I like the over. I think both teams are going to put up points. This is going to be the last one that scores wins type of deal, back and forth. But I do think Arlington comes out ahead.
All right, so none of us truly agree on everything, which is fantastic. This is where crossroads meet bullshit. Yeah, look, I am excited to watch this game. I think we're gonna try our best.
Hopefully, they could use the ratings.
They could use the ratings. Ratings weren't so solid last week. I seem to have a big fucking influence on that. I did catch the reruns yesterday, though.
Yeah, there you go. We were wondering if you did. I know you did your research. The attendance has been fine, by the way, and actually up a little bit, but the ratings have not. That was a report I read in the midseason State of the Union, if you will.
Sure. Nothing like cooking those books.
Right, and this Friday night thing apparently has been a disaster. That's been the worst rating of all the games. The Friday nights is clearly the lowest watched.
Well,
not a good date night, I guess. UFL viewership.
Honey, want to go see the Battlebirds live? That's probably the one city you could.
Yeah, St. Louis. I mean, it's a hot ticket. 30,000, baby.
Let's jump on over to Saturday's solo game. The Memphis Showboats are heading into Houston, Texas, take on Curtis Johnson and company. They got the best quarterback in the damn league now. Some say. Houston's laying 4. Can you trust Curtis Johnson to lay a solid 4.5 at TD-ECU Stadium, whatever the hell they call that bullshit these days? The over-under's at 36.5, which is pretty remarkable considering it's these overs have been smashing. This is like a week 1 total. All right, look, Houston's turned the corner. Chat's talking about they got futures on these Battlebirds, these Houston Roughnecks, right? McClendon can play.
Yeah, he sure can. His arms
the Showboats, who knows what you're getting with the Showboats. I will lay the 4.5, and this is by far my least confident game of the 4.
I know.
Give me the over as well. Bet Detective, what are you doing here?
The over I like for sure. I think, and we said it before with the Mazzoni bump when Memphis coming off a big win in Birmingham. The quarterback looked good, and the ball was, the system was just get the ball out of your hands so they could do less thinking and more playing, and it was working. They were moving. They got some good yardage against Birmingham. So, I've been touting Houston for a while now, so they're not as bad as we think they are. And now they're now everyone's, the books have adjusted to it. So I can't get there laying 4.5 with Curtis Johnson, though. I mean, I think we got.
I thought about this in the wee hours of the night 2 nights ago, and I was just like, "Am I really gonna lay fucking points with this bozo?"
we gotta pump the brakes here with Houston a bit. I love them as a dog. I love them, scrapping money line last week, of course, even the last couple of weeks. They've been covering, but now laying 4.5 is a bit much for a Memphis team that looked competent last week, even though it's a bad spot for them, back-to-back road games, let down from Birmingham, but I'll take the 4.5 and I'll go over 36.5. I still think Houston wins, but it'll be a close score. Curtis Johnson somehow will mess up the conversion rate, and go for one when they're down 2. Who knows what the hell he's going to do, but it'll be entertaining, that's for sure. And this is an early game, right? Is this a Saturday morning game?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so it's kind of a sleepy game as well. So give me the 4.5.
Yeah, Jmark. I'm actually very curious. And CJ, do you agree with me that this is the game you have the least amount of fuel for?
Yeah, it's for sure. I mean, I don't feel good backing Memphis by any means. I mean,
I thought you were done with that showboat shit.
I was done with that showboat shit, and I shoved it down my throat last week.
Jmark, what are you doing here? We're at Crossroads meet bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, if you approach this from a gambling standpoint, Memphis coming off this big win over Birmingham, normally that would be the team you're like, okay, we're fading them now, right? But Houston, 4.5 points. This was 5.5. It opened at 5.5. It has come down. So if you're betting the opposite of trends, you would take Houston. But like CJ, I just can't do it. I can't lay these points with Curtis Johnson. He's going to be spending half the time messing with his headset and yelling at the wrong guys, so I just can't do it. I agree this will be a close game. I don't know if Memphis wins it outright, but I don't think they lose by the 4.5. So yeah, give me the Showboats.
All right. I like this. We're just all over the place here. What about the total, Jmark?
I do like the over. This is too low, especially when these teams they looked decent on offense last week. Both of them did.
So wait, we all finally agree on the over in the Memphis Houston Roughnecks game. What could go wrong? It's gonna be like 6-3, right?
Chucky Valentine pointing out them signing Wes Hills, but activating Davis, the wide receiver. I mean, that's going to give them another really good option besides just Jonathan Adams, and I think that could open up that passing game a little bit more because he's kind of a home run guy last year.
Yeah.
He was. He certainly was. Folks, want to tell you that the UFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by EdgeBoost. Yes, EdgeBoost is your first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved whenever you need it. No usage fees, no minimums. They don't even do a damn credit check. All right. You can earn cashback rewards as well. Like I said, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet with our promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and get this. EdgeBoost will match that deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Naira Bets, NYRA Bets. It's Kentucky Derby week at SGPN. Get the mint juleps ready. Make sure you check out our horse racing podcast, the Notorious OTB, for all your picks and the Bottom Line Bombs. Plus, get in on the action of the most exciting 2 minutes in sports with Naira Bets. Sign up today and boost your Derby bankroll with a $25 free bet and a $200 deposit bonus with the promo code SGPN25. And join now to claim your $25 free bet. Once again, $200 deposit match bonus at nyrabets.com/SGPN25. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the NBA playoffs currently going on. Plus, there's props for every single game. And for the true degens, the MyBookie money bag is where you could have a lot of fun. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to mybookie.ag. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Once again, terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back on the UFL Gambling Podcast, Week 6 playoff race. This is the first time in the history of the UFL where every team is at Week 6 eligible, alive to make the UFL playoffs and win their first, or win their perhaps first or second or third or 4th Freedom Cup. Sunday, we get a doubleheader. We have the DC Defenders heading into the Ford Field. Have they checked to make sure there's no guy? We're in graduation season. Every game's every away game is tasty. Michigan is laying 2.5. Words out of their camp over there is that they will no longer be doing this 2 quarterback system stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How much are we buying into that? Because I think the line does reflect that Vegas made a phone call to Nolan and say, you fucking play Bryce Perkins the whole game. And when I say Vegas,
the Vipers,
I mean,
some of the Vipers, they said he's called last for a quarterback. Michigan also says they have 2,000 more people a game in attendance. You believe in those numbers as well? I know you.
Fuck no. Get the hell out of here. They're cooking these books. I mean, I'm surprised they're favored. We should just talk about that from the start.
Well,
why are they favored?
well, they're at home and they do look good. Obviously, you had 400 yards, as you said. You know, big end the Perkins announcement. DC, not tough spots, back-to-back road games. You know,
but is it really road games?
I mean, they have to get in. They have to get in a vehicle of transportation of some sorts to.
I mean, but they have to do that to go to DC because they're in the fucking Arlington hub.
Right, that's a good point. But the thing is, I mean, it's a tight line. It's not like it's a huge favorite, but this is probably be the best game of the weekend, I would say. But I think all the stuff on the field has been good across the board lately, except for those goddamn Brahmas. But I know you're going with Michigan with your big perk out there. I saw you on the main show last night. I hopped in the chat a little bit there. And, you know, Jmark, they like to poach Colby, and he likes to shit all over the league, shit over the show. You know, he gets his big picks out there, and he saves the bullshit for us where the crossroads meet. And they're giving him stuff because he's a big Shedeur Sanders fan. Who do you like better, Shedeur or Perkins? Who do you think's a better quarterback? That's your Sophie's choice right there.
I think Shedeur's a better quarterback, but right now Perkins has got a little age gap. You know, when Perkins bounced around the whole goddamn planet in college. He was at like 3 schools in 4 years, I think it was. Maybe it was 5. But look, Perkins best quarterback in this league. I know you're still not hanging on to that there, Bet Detective. I think who you saying is best quarterback in the league?
No, I mean, listen, he's definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Oh goddamn, this neutral Bet Detective. Well, he's a very good player. Who's your top
it depends
quarterback?
on what you're asking for. You're asking for yards, looking for numbers. You can look right across the field. You can look right across the field in this game
in the fucking draft. If you had the first pick in the draft, which quarterback are you taking?
Well, you look right across the field in this game. Give me Tamu. I mean, he misses a lot of guys, but I mean, he just puts up huge, nice. He throws a perfect UFL ball. Go get that young product. You know, he just lobs it up there for anyone to get. So, who knows?
Well, I don't get. They bring the income.
What, dude? You should be a fucking politician with your fucking answers here. Jmark, who's the best quarterback?
Yeah,
in the league?
if I'm on the clock, first pick, you got to go with Jalen McClendon, right?
Yes, Jalen McClendon.
There we go. See, but at least he gave me an answer.
Well, I think CJ answered. He said Tamu.
Yeah, give me Tamu.
But I had to search through it. I don't even know if he believes it. I'm taking Michigan -2.5. The line's
I mean, you got to
telling
put
you
quotes
everything.
around the word best and greatest, and what are we even, what the barometer is for any of these things. You know, I mean, fucking who knows?
I like the over on this too.
Another one, huge total number, 42.5. But I mean, I'm not trying to get to play any unders this at all. So I think this goes way over. I'm going to take DC only because I've had him number 1 every week, and I'm not going to take him down now, especially after that big comeback win against the best scoring defense in the league. So I'm not afraid of this Michigan defense anymore. Give me Tamu. Give me these. I think DC is just rolling.
Now, please, Mike Nolan. That's a blueprint for DC. You know, if we see Etling, what if he's like, I told you I wasn't gonna play Etling, and they bring in Bowman or something. They probably got a third
To
stringer
me, that's
that
my,
we don't know.
to me, that's my clip of the year was last week when they were interviewing Perkins on the sideline, basically asking him, "Hey, so what are you taking a spell or something?" Like, no, I'd like to rotate this bullshitter in there. And then as they're interviewing him, Etling throws the interception, and Perkins is like, "Oh, good God!" Like, just does an eye roll. Like, what are we doing here? It was so it was you couldn't time it better. The fuck is that?
Yeah, I like the over. We both like the over here at least. We're agreed on a few totals. Jmark, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I agree with CJ that this is DC's game. They have looked like they have something to prove this year, and I have them power ranked number 1 as well. I think they're the best team in the league. I think the Panthers and Perkins, I mean, obviously they have looked good. They have played well. I don't know if you can give them home field advantage in front of that crowd. So, yeah, I'm definitely going DC here. I do like the over as well. I think the over is the play in this game. But yeah, DC wins it outright.
Now, will Nakua not be playing in this game? Is he suspended for this?
He's suspended. He is suspended.
That was funny. They were saying that was another thing with Moose Johnson, who is what is he, the president or something of the UFL? Yeah. You say we needed our viral moment, like Jake Bates last year was our viral moment where people got interested, and then it happened last week. Yeah, you got your viral moment, all right. Your fucking players slapping a fan in the face.
I actually think if you want to market a league, if you do this once a game where a random fan got slapped in the face,
that's not a bad idea.
Their fucking ratings would go up, man.
Have a contest.
Just you never know what player you can bet on. What player is going to slap a fan in the face?
Fans would fight to be. They'd be honored to be slapped in the face by some of these players.
I would love to. If I go to a game, I want the whole goddamn experience. Especially if I go to a game with 6 people.
This is at now. Come on.
Imagine you bet a certain person, so you're at the game heckling him the whole game
to slap him. Yeah. It's like a dunk tank, but you can bet on it.
Yeah. Jmark, what'd you do on?
I like the over here. Just some numbers from DraftKings. I don't really go by these on UFL because I don't know how many people are actually betting the UFL, but 63% of the money's on the spread for the Panthers to cover.
Wow.
So,
would not have guessed that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have your top power rated team. Vegas disagrees. They're dogs. But if you want to look at what Vegas agrees with, it might be Pick Dundee because 9.5 point favorites are these Birmingham Stallions. Vegas still says, nah, they're the best team in the league. You get this Peyton party bullshit out of here.
That's one way to translate that.
The over under set at 37.5. This is Sunday night. I'm all over this. This is a smash play. Why the hell would they set this number this high if they didn't believe that they're the best team? Matt OK Corral is back.
I'll answer that question if you really want to know.
It's
because the Houston Roughnecks just beat them 27-3 last week. For God's sakes, it's the Brahmas are trash. That's why.
Beat DC. At
they
DC,
did.
So I mean,
great punt returns. They couldn't design 4 more white punt returns last week, so they took one on the chin. But yeah, this will be the 3rd or 4th get right game spot for Birmingham. They haven't covered one of those yet, so hopefully this will be the 4th time to charm.
Do you need me to make my case? Down in Alabama, I've been down there. I know you've probably been there, Bet Detective. Sunday's God's Day. and here's how they've been fucking over these Stallions. They played majority of their games on a Friday this season. Right? You get the 3-time defending champs. And you haven't given them a Sunday game because right after church, it's part of the culture. No wonder why 9 people are at the game on that Friday night. You go to church, you come out of there, you walk on over to Penetrope Stadium, and you catch a football game. I mean, I love the Stallions on a Sunday. It's what I have it circled in my UFL betting book, which is available if you call 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE.
It's a 4 o'clock kickoff, so that Black Church will just be letting out then. So they've been after a nice 8-hour session. They can then enjoy a beautiful Dynasty Birmingham Stallion championship game.
Goddamn right. Let's go. Look, I'm laying it. Why the hell is this number so high? They're sending a message that Peyton Party doesn't know what the hell he's doing, And the last time the Stallions lost a game, remember they're still the 1 seed after all this nonsense, right? They went up to your little Michigan bullshit Ford Field, right? And they stuck it to them. All right, they're gonna do it again. Team meeting, players only meeting happened at the Applebee's there at Arlington. CJ, what are you doing here, buddy?
Because Corral's back, it does make it feel a little bit better. Listen, I don't like laying 9.5 with Birmingham against anyone.
With anybody in this league.
But if it's going to be the one team to do it, it's definitely these Brahmas. You can't possibly back them after last week. They looked absolutely horrendous with Kellen Mond. Even though we got Guantanamo Bay, he would have to sneak in and out. He wasn't much better, but maybe give him a full week and they could. Actually, I'm talking myself into grabbing these points, but I don't know. I keep
the waterboard play of the day.
I keep falling for it. Give me Birmingham, I guess. It'll feel pretty ridiculous once Birmingham's up like 27-0 in the first half. They still have it in them. I guess they haven't shown it yet, except for that 1 week 2 game.
After a loss. This is the point.
But they just don't look good. Their offense doesn't look good. I like the under. This is the only under I like of the weekend, 37.5. I'll take the under. I don't think the Brahmas score at all. But I'll lay the 9.5. With this, I feel worse about this in Memphis almost.
Oh, I'm on the over. I feel pretty good about the over. Jmark, what are you doing here, buddy?
Remind me what qualifies a close your eyes special.
In this league, nothing.
Know, right?
In normal standards, I knew.
Yes, I see what you're getting at. If you get lose by the spread by more than 20 for whatever, and then you're getting your big dog next week, something like that. This would fit the category.
Yeah, and this is up to.
I guess you could say close your eyes special is every game because no one watches these fucking teams.
This is up to 10 points too, just to point that out. So money pouring in, I guess, on Birmingham to move the needle a little bit. However much money that means. I get what you guys are saying, but I said the same thing last week. I can't trust Birmingham with how sloppy they've been. I know the Brahmas look terrible, but I can't.
Yeah, they're very trustworthy.
I can't trust the Stallions to dominate anybody. They haven't dominated anybody. They seem to play down to the competition, and I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see sloppy football. I do like the over because I think the Brahmas are going to keep it close enough to cover. I don't think they're going to win, but they're going to keep it close enough to cover, and that means scoring enough points to keep up. So give me the Brahmas and give me the over.
Gosh, that's tough. That's tough.
I mean, I think this is the most differences we've had in years of doing this show now. So that something's. I mean, I guess one of us will be, right. That we won't be like last week where I feel like 80% of our picks were wrong.
4-0.
I'm sorry.
No. 80% of your picks went wrong. Me and Jmark cleaned up.
Okay, well, I mean, he's done that week 2 performance there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which game do you go? Okay, so let's do a lock and a dog. I mean, I'll step right up. I think to me, the lock. I'm going to take you right on back to the game that I felt best about. I'm sorry, this is my dog, not my lock. Is the Arlington Renegades. That is my play, my favorite play, I think. And then the top lock will be the Birmingham Stallions minus the points. I'm dying on this fucking hill, guys. CJ, how about you?
I know we don't like to throw totals in there, but I do like the over in that Arlington game as a lock. But I'll lock up St. Louis as well. Friday night in the Dome at a very short number. Although Jmark, you said it went up to 3.5. I did put it already, got it in at 2.5, but it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'm going to lock up St. Louis and the over there.
Ooh, you have a dog to win out, right? Did you go with 4? No, you had
I
DC,
had
right?
last week.
No,
this week. Yes, I have DC as my dog. And
all right, Jmark, what are you doing?
I'm going to lock up the Renegades. I'm going to pull a CJ from last week and give out a parlay for my dog. This is 15-1. Arlington, Memphis, DC, all money line plays.
Arlington, Memphis, DC, money line plays.
Toss Toss
Wow,
the Brahmas in there. Have some fun with it. That's what I mean. All
Would've
four
worked
hit
out.
last week.
Yeah.
I mean, with that Memphis game that started off Friday, I'm kicking myself for not doing it only because it was a Friday night game. If it lost, you cook up another one. You know what I mean?
True.
You can just throw it right out. But that's the last game, so you don't want to mess with that one. So I like it though. Because like, would it be crazy if Houston lost the game? I mean, no, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that one. What is the game you could be most wrong on? It's got to be the Houston game, right? Because I feel like DC, Michigan. Okay, I don't think that's I think it'll be a close game regardless, right? I think the Arlington St. Louis game will be a close game regardless. Maybe you could say, I mean, I know Jmark's on the Brahmas, but I think it's the Houston game that they could just get their ass kicked. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Either team could blow out the other team, to be honest with you, and I wouldn't be shocked, you know.
Just for the record, if you wanted to take all 4 dogs, it's 80-1.
Yes, sure. I mean, that's not the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I will not take that, but good luck, buddy. All right, this is where crossroads meet bullshit. So maybe you threw some bullshit out there that can hit. Let's talk a little DFS, but before we do that, I do want to let the fine people out there know that the UFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog just launched their new game, Ladders. Yes. Oh shit, we got the Laddie Daddy with us too. Win up to 500 times the amount of money you enter watching your favorite players climb the ladder. I mean, really, Underdog Fantasy has an edge I believe you can't find elsewhere. They have UFL. A lot of times it comes out Friday morning, but they do have UFLX. They got everything else too. So check it out. And when you sign up, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is the home, your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the MLB prop market with Rhythm. And building your own model is simple, easy, and a ton of fun. That's the thing I like. You can copy other models. I just like to build my own. And look, Rhythm knows you're going to love it. That's why they give you a 7-day free trial period. So hop on over there. Rhythm's got some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off the monthly subscription with the promo code SGPN25 and 50% off the annual subscription with the promo code SGPN50. That's Rhythm, RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your free 7-day trial period today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back. Can we go back? Can we ditch the slides and go to the we just do the rest of the show like that? Guys, DFS, how'd you do last week?
Last week, I don't know if we did get any money. Cooked us up a little bit, only because he did fine. He got some numbers, but if you didn't have some of the big guns, you weren't going to win money. I mean, you know, Tamu and those guys just put up monster numbers. You know, it's like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, whatever combined, and it was just a couple of those guys, and that was it. So, I mean, you were better off with Win last week, and I came than you were with Cook. See, they had a nice 235 yards, a touchdown. But a lot of good discounts this week,
dude. I was about to say, I thought about. So here's the angle. You got Bryce Perkins, we think is going to actually play the whole game. Which last time he did that, he actually put up monster numbers in this league. What was it, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? Then you have Max Duggan if he takes another step forward with the way he played last week, especially running the ball. Corral is back, but then McClendon is 9,100, and then you got the Dresser win,
baby.
Kid looked pretty good. Yeah, I'll take Bryce Perkins. It's my quarterback. Bet the second. What are you doing at the QB spot?
Well, I gave out the over in that Friday night game, so I'm going to take the quarterback there, Max Duggan. You already said it. Just with his rushing abilities, that's the floor you want in a DFS quarterback. He had 80 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. I mean, that's the thing you're looking for when you're looking at DFS, is someone who's not going to crap out like that. So he's at what was he, 9,900, kind of pricey. I think he's the second highest quarterback this week, but should be a shootout. 42.5 is the total in the Dome Friday night. Give me Max Duggan put up another monster game like he did last week.
Ooh, are you doing that for Jmark's?
Well, I know you said
he's an Iowa guy.
Well,
I
know
that, right?
And I already read off some of those stats, though, that Arlington's pass defense is actually third most passing yards, receivers, and attempt, and all that. But Stoops does like shutting down the rushing aspect of the quarterback. So we'll see.
Yeah, I
Jmark?
mean, I had Duggan right before the show, and I switched him last minute. I switched him to CJ's guy, actually, Jordan Ta'amu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's the highest priced guy, but I had the money for him. He had 29 2 weeks ago, 39 last week. He's putting up big points. Even when he makes those mistakes, he's still putting up a lot of yards in the air and on the ground. And I know Michigan's defense is good. I just think they're not as good as Arlington, so that's why I switched Duggan out. But I like that play as well.
And the volume he puts up is just outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he throws the ball like 35 times a game. No one else comes close to that in the league.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. At the running back spot, I mean, St. Louis is just a soft team, right? We can say that. They've been a soft team for a few years. So, give me this Balaj going on. What did he do last week?
He killed
I'm
it.
trying to remember
Yeah,
what
he
did
killed it
last
again
week.
last week.
Yeah. What was his stat total? He did pretty damn
Balaj,
good,
let me
I think.
see. I do think I have it. He had 79 yards and a touchdown last week.
That's like 1,000 yards in this goddamn league. So 7,700.
Yeah, not bad.
Load up. No one else rostered?
I did not. I know.
Our boy Caleb.
I know, and everyone should have him rostered, but I kind of zagged a little bit there. Because the inconsistency in a running back production has been kind of stood out to me this year so far. Like sometimes they'll get the ball, the next thing you know, one carry, fucking 3 yards, whatever the hell it is. There's just no rhyme or reason to what these coaches do when it comes to the running backs. We all know with the McFarland, as we will not fall for that again. But a running back who has really not produced, and he's a big name, so you kind of I like him at the discount here, is CJ Marable. 7,500. He's never that cheap. And if there's any team to get right when the running game goes, it's San Antonio. They are horrible against the run. They give it up 279 yards 1 week on the ground alone. So in a game that, Colby thinks that Birmingham could roll pretty deep, I think it'll be a steady diet of CJ on CJ action. CJ Marble.
Yeah. And by the way, Anthony McFarland still hasn't scored a touchdown. Marable is what's crazy is he only rushed for 95 yards this season. He's been dinged up, but years past he's been a big part of the Stallions' success. Jmark, what'd you do with the running back spot?
Yeah, so I went with Houston's guys, Quandre White. They seem to like him, especially as of recently. He's gotten 15, 11, and 11 carries, 2 touchdowns. He's got one in each of the last 2 weeks here. So I like him to continue that and to score another touchdown. And he's 7,200. So I thought that was priced fairly well for a guy that seems like he's guaranteed to get double-digit carries.
He's got zip.
Yeah,
he does. I also took a shot on the another running back. I went with Nate McCrae, who's I think like the fifth leading rusher in the league, I think. Right behind my boy Abram Smith, who's been a dud this year, just 2.6 yards a carry. But yeah, I don't know. I just looked for I was thinking about which, I did take the over in that game. So I thought, okay, which teams can get down there and score, especially if he's playing the whole game. They're going to get in the red zone, and then that opens up opportunity for big points. So that's the logic here. Bet Detective, did you have a second running back?
Someone that I think everyone should be having this week, and that is Tua. See, who it seems to be I think he's the number one running back there in Michigan now. They have settled in on him, and he's at an insanely cheap price. You'll never see this for what he's only played 3 games, and he's only third in the league in touchdowns. It's like 6 in yards or something like that, just for these 3 games. And so you can get him now at what is he? $5,800, which is an insane price for the starting running back from Michigan in another shootout, 42.5 points over that game.
Guys, I'm sorry. I think that's a good play, but
all I know is we're hard-working, tax-paying people like you, and we don't take shit from nobody. You got that asshole? Ask me. The fucking union that works for you.
I am seeing that, according to the Reddits, that Matt Corral is not going to play. Just got this notification as it stands. Case Cookus or potentially Alex Mago will be the quarterback there. That's pretty substantial news.
Yeah, I'm not going to switch my pick, but I still it makes me like the under more for sure.
Yeah, Jmark, what does this mean to you? Do you sprinkle that money line now? Do you add that to the parlay? Because you seemed a little scared before.
For 80 to 1, you got to at least sprinkle a little on it, right? For the parlay,
yeah,
got it.
Yeah. That is big news right there. And does that change your CJ Marable? Yeah, I mean, now I don't want anybody on their offense. I might have to pivot right now.
That makes me like Marable even more, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay. Jmark, who's your second?
Yeah, I also got Tuatawa. Like CJ said, he's really come on the past 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago was his first game. He had 3 carries. Since then, he's had 10 and 15 and 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So they seem to really like getting him the ball. And his dad, of course, coming in and saying, well, the guy was spit on. He spit on him, so Nakua was in the right. So now the team's going to really get behind him, right? His dad's standing up for the players.
It's a good point, and yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. I do think the team will get behind him with that. Making me rethink my ink, are you? But at the wide receiver spot, I'm going with our boy Jay Adams. I think he's due for a big week. Jonathan Adams with the Memphis Showboats. Now that they can throw the ball when they brought in the dresser. Did you roster our boy Jonathan Adams, bet detective?
I've been off the Adams train for a while there, but I did go with someone who's come back into our UFL lives, Hakeem Butler, who is still way underpriced at $7,300. Nice hookup I'll have with him with Dugan and the shootout on Friday night. I mean, he looked like one of those like McFarland types, like, oh, he's the best player on the field right there. And he changed it.
I had him on the roster for a little bit. I pivoted late, but
I'll get him now while you can at 7,300. I mean, he's not going to be like this the rest of the year. He changed the entire offense last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not my highest priced wide receiver, but I also have Hakeem Butler. I know he only had 2 catches on 4 targets, but he took those for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a big time playmaker, and I think he'll look even better now. And I agree with CJ. Right now, he's 7,300. Last year, he was around 10K the whole year. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just a matter of time before that jumps back up.
I'm just a little weary about Duggan passing the ball.
That's right.
But if that works, that could be a smash. There you go. I went out and rostered. I went to that DC game where I feel like there's just. I just mentioned them on the over with the running back play, but my guy Cornell Powell, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
With Love DC. Powell. I think they're going to put up some points, and this is a guy that I know he's just got 185 yards on the season, but he's come on lately, I would say. Mm-hmm. So Cornell Powell would be my play. Anyone roster Cornell Powell?
No, but I did go with the other DC.
Disagree with me.
No, I don't disagree with you. You can't go wrong with any of those DC receivers because he spreads it all around. Like we said, he's so much volume. I went with Roland. 8,200 is my most expensive one. He seems to be, I want to say to 1A, but it seems like, this is the posse of your favorite Redskins. Your Gary Clark, Ricky Sanders, Art Monk. You can throw to any one of these guys. So you have to have a
God bless them all. All right. God bless them all.
you have to have some part of the DC offense in your lineup, or you're not, you're not gonna be able to compete.
Amen. Jmark, what'd you do at the next wide receiver spot?
I also have Roland. I think CJ took a peek at my lineup before we started here. I like Powell as well. I think they're both really good. I think Powell usually gets more yards, but Roland gets more targets. I mean, he had 12 last week, 10 2 weeks ago, 61 yards and 7 catches in both of those, a touchdown last week. He's a guy that Tamu relies on. He throws to him often. So I'm chasing the targets more than the yards there, but I feel good about it. Like CJ said, you got to have some part of this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by the way, if you didn't know, folks, Chris Roland, second in the league in targets. Justin Hall with the Houston Roughnecks. Curtis Johnson saying, "Get my boy the ball." But hey, not far behind it is Cornell Powell. I think he's top 6 or 7. So actually he might be third. The more I look at it now, I think he might be third in the league in targets. So DC definitely airing it out there. At the other wideout spot for me, I took a shot on this one. And my thing is they're probably going to be down a lot of points. I'm going to take a shot on the former Houston Cougar quarterback, Greg Ward, who's a wide receiver for the San Antonio Brahmas, and Peyton Pardee. I know it's who the hell knows with the Brahmas. This could be a terrible play, but I also think if they're getting their ass whooped, they got to air the ball out some. Why not? Didn't you guys roster him last week?
I had a Greg Ward at one point. I know that either last week or 2 weeks ago. Oh yeah, I did have him last. Yes, I did have him last week. It did not work out.
This is the week.
All right, fair enough. My cheap receiver, who's not too cheap at 6,900. I wanted just to get to the other side of that St. Louis game. I went with Arlington's Deontay Bernett, who is their number 1 receiver. He's hot or cold, but I mean, looking at some of his numbers, like I said, it should be a shootout. I'm not afraid of St. Louis's pass defense there in the middle. He has 13 of 18 targets, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns through 5 games. So, he's either he's hit or miss, and I think everyone's going to hit in this game. So give me Deontay.
Jmark?
Yeah, so I went with the guy catching passes from Colby's number 1 quarterback in the league, with Malik Turner. Last week, he had 8 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown on 11 targets. That's comparable to Roland's, and he's $1,000 cheaper. Well, a little more. He's $7,100. So this is a guy that it feels like Perkins likes throwing to him now. He's getting more comfortable with him. So if the Panthers are able to move the ball on DC, which I like the over in that game, I think they will be able to. I think Turner's going to be part of that.
Yeah, and Nakua out.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Maybe I do pivot. I forgot about the Nakua being out there. Defensively, I know you're on the over, guys. I think I'm on the under. I don't think these battle birds are gonna be able to do shit against Bob Stoops and company. So I like the Renegades defense at 3,800. That's the angle there. Is just I think they're going to limit the rushing ability of Duggan, make you beat you in the air, and he has had struggles doing that. So, that's my defense. That's
no, I'm not touching those 2 games. There's the 2 low totals I would look at. I think there's only 2 defenses I would really actually look at. Birmingham looked like the obvious one, but they don't be making plays like they should be. Although that is a terrible offense they're going up against. Between Mond and Guantanamo, that's something you want to lock in on. But I want to go with Houston as defense, just because that defense looked good. They made plays, even though it was against Antonio. They played for Curtis Johnson. They had a pick 6. But they were jumping all over the place. They got something going on there with Houston. So against Memphis, I'm not afraid. Give me Houston's defense there, 4,200.
Yeah. That was one of the other ones I was considering was that game. Jmark.
Yeah, and I like Memphis to cover, but I'm right there with CJ. This is one of the best options. And I couldn't afford the Stallions, but I agree. Like they haven't put any dominant performances up. Now this would be the week, but we've said that I feel like for 3 weeks in a row now. So yeah, give me the Roughnecks against Memphis to get some sacks, get some turnovers, and maybe another touchdown.
There we go. Folks, that's our show. Make sure you check us out. We'll be back on Tuesday. Hopefully we have a nice new setup here. And yeah, give Jmark a follow on Twitter at Jmark Football. Make sure you check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. What are you guys talking right now?
We're going to be kind of going over the draft for the AFC tonight, but check out yesterday's episode, or Tuesday, I guess, with the Tattersall Distilling co-founder, Dan Oskey. That was really, really fun talking with him and interviewing him. He was a bartender and now he's a business owner.
Yes.
There we go. Shout out to that. Bet Detective. What are you guys talking about on the bombs next week? Because I know you guys got the Kentucky Derby
this week. Bottom line bombs next week. I will be I'm bringing an NBA guest on, KD on hoops, Kelly Dwyer, former NBA writer for Yahoo.com. Now he kind of veered off on his own, and he's one of the best writers in the biz. He's hilarious and very insightful. Knows a shit ton about basketball. So.
There we go. Check it out. Bottom line bombs. They're always talking whatever the action is at the time. I'm sure they'll have you covered for the rest of the Triple Crown as well. Check out the college football experience and college baseball experience. We got episodes firing off the shelves. Also the college basketball experience and the sports gambling podcast. And once again, this weekend, I highly recommend the Notorious OTB podcast for your horse racing edge. And a lot of the other ones, whether it's MLB action going on, we saw that crazy shit last night, but yeah, MLB, I've been watching a bunch of it, jumping in on it, college baseball, obviously, and then the NHL and NBA playoffs. Check it all out. We got the CFL gambling podcast coming soon too. So stay tuned. Till next time, folks, this is the UFL gambling podcast where crossroads meet bullshit. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking, and the whole world's looking with the gamblers. Run and shoot.